bit speechless after that one. We were definitely the better team with 11 men, and certainly very equal with 10. What was your assessment?
Yeah, listen, I absolutely agree there. I think, now in fairness, the first half was fairly tight, but I thought we were the team probably in the ascendancy. Looked like we were probably going to be the ones maybe to get our noses in front. We just probably needed to clean up on the final third. We got there really well, but a lot of the times it's the final ball, that kind of killed us to be able to really put more pressure on them. But I felt we were quite good in the first half, and then obviously the second half is a completely different game. We get Danny sent off just before half time, and we have to tweak things slightly. But I thought the lads were absolutely fabulous. If this was 6 weeks ago, we probably don't come back from that game. But they hung in, battled well. We didn't really weather any storm. I felt we were quite comfortable. And obviously it's going to happen with the extra body. They're able to take more gambles and break off the long ball, which Glenavon does, and puts them 1-0 ahead. But obviously we shuffled the deck a wee bit there, and I suppose used our squad to our advantage, and obviously Callum back in the fold this week training, and we just even said, and we kind of planted the seed early on that even before a ball was kicked, that there might be a role from there in the game today, that if we were still in the game or a draw, or we were looking to maybe get back into it, that he could have a part to play. And he shows a real striker's instinct there, and a hell of a finish, and made a big impact when he came in. But the energy's infectious. It's brilliant. Like, look, we're in a position now where the lads, I'm not saying they ever like losing, nobody likes losing, but there's a real hunger and energy there, and I hope a fan's seen that today. Obviously I've took off down the sideline like a madman as well, but look, the game's emotional, and sometimes you need to see that.
Yeah, you sort of picked out quite a few things there. Callum Burney, good to have him back. Obviously he's a bit of a longer term injury than we maybe initially thought, but I know he's been quite good to have even around the dressing room, even when he hasn't been playing. A lot of the players that have been out for longer term have been really, they've even bought into philosophy that you're trying to bring in as well. What's the overall sort of mood at the minute like? I
think you can see the togetherness, when we scored a goal. That tells its own story. I think there's a great bond there. There's a great honest bunch of lads there, and look, from day one we've said there's real quality and real winners, and I think we're starting to see that. We're putting a nice little run together, and we want to stay unbeaten, and we want teams to obviously fear coming here, and then obviously have to do their homework when we go to play them. That's the way we want to approach this. We want to be a team that other clubs worry about, and that's ultimately where we're trying to get to.
I suppose we can't really, you mentioned it earlier there, we can't really go any further without mentioning the incident just before half time. Most people seem to think it was a bit of a dubious or controversial call at best.
Yeah.
You were probably better positioned than some people, but what was your...
Yeah, well look, Shane goes for the yellow card, and then at the last minute he sees their player rolling around and gives a red, so there's 4 bodies in front of him because he's the exact same view as me, so unless you're absolutely certain, they're 9 times out of 10 they're yellow cards. So I was absolutely blown away by the red card, and then look, we're looking for consistency in the game. Glacan's on a yellow card and dives on the far side, and the fourth official's telling me that they don't always have to be yellow cards when you dive. What a ridiculous response. Not that we look for the game to be levelled up, but if he's made a mistake, he needs to put his hand up. Obviously I need to see it again, but my first thought process is it's a yellow card, and absolutely blown away by the decision.
And there was also an incident where Jack was on the end of a high boot as well, similar enough.
So we talk about consistency. He nearly takes the head off Jack. Like, I'm not saying it's a red card, because the first one shouldn't be a red card, but if you're dishing them out, get the red card out of your pocket. That's the way I look at it.
We have a small matter of a return fixture effectively on Tuesday night. Very spicy one going into that one then.
Yeah, no, listen, look, as I said, we have to be a hard team to beat. We don't want anyone thinking we're a soft touch, and that's the kind of culture we're trying to create here. And the belief's growing, like you can see, the belief's growing. But again, we have to dust ourselves down, take stock. Obviously, Quinny comes out with a bit of a knock again, and we're down Danny. I think Wardy suspended, so we have to shuffle the deck a wee bit and try and go there and get ourselves into a semi-final of the League Cup, which is what we want and where we want to go.